I know y'all don't give a fuck. But damn, yo, that's how most men feel. Most men, probably 90% of men today. You know, I was always taught that, first of all, let me say this. You don't get to pick and choose, you know, you just born into this world, and then you given the deck that you've given, you just got to use that deck, and the hand that you was dealt, you got to use it. But man, today it's hard being a man. It's hard because no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck about you. You know, for the longest time growing up, my mom, she used to always tell me how, not necessarily my mom, but older people who were older would say, like, men value comes as they age, as they become older. You've probably heard of the 18-year-old guy, and then he become 30, and then as he gets older, his value goes up. I think that shit is reversing. I think it's kind of coming to an end for that. Now, in retrospect, it sounds good, but that's only if most men are on their purpose. And a lot of men are not on their purpose. A lot of men are settling to be average. A lot of men settle with the 9 to 5. They have kids. They marry someone. They stay with that miserable, significant other, and they go to work. They come to the drive-thru. They sitting at the steering wheel like this. Don't want to go in. Mad at, you already know the bitch about to nag them. Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? That is most men. Now, if you're a man on your purpose, your value goes up, of course. But even then, it's hard for them guys too. I can't speak on that, but I was listening to a couple podcasts of guys who's made it, who's become successful, have money, have businesses, and they even say how hard it is to get a good woman. When you get to that point, every fucking woman wants you because they pretty much waiting at the finish line. But at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about a man. And it's hard being a man because who the fuck do we go to when we don't have anyone to, we try to work on everything else. I'm not a father, but I'm a man, and I haven't dealt with a bitter baby mama or a situation like that, so I can't speak on that behalf. But I could speak on just everyday life, just going to work. Here I am, a 33-year-old with no kids. If I go around family members who have kids, they look at me like a failure. Like, the conversations that they having is consistent of wiping ass, baby waking up in the middle of the night, taking the kids to school. I can't speak on that. So what the fuck we gonna talk about? The shit that I be talking about is progression in life, but they ain't trying to hear that. They settled. They okay with where they at. So it's kind of a mismatch in that way. So even at work, I'm not into a lot of drama. You know anything about a workplace is a lot of negative energy, but I'm the one who always, going around trying to spread positive energy, but no one gives a fuck. Ladies come to me, they talk to me, but I'm asking everybody how they doing. No one gives a fuck about me though. I'm always a person going around, how was your weekend? Not that it fucking matters, but just to keep the morality up. I said, fuck that. I ain't doing that shit no more. Because at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about you. If you're a woman, someone always going to care for you. Being a woman, it's like, people be like, oh, where your man at? What could I do to help? But let a man be in that same situation. Ain't nobody trying to fucking help you. You got to have something. You got to be somebody. And most men are not, they're average. Let's be real. I would love to hear from some of the older guys in the comments who's 50, 60. Is it hard for you guys as well? You know, a lot of you guys have dealt with maybe multiple women, but then here we are in a different era where the women think differently. They don't think like they used to think in the 80s. And so I would love to hear even older women, like some of these older women, they look at these young girls, look at how they dressing now, because they competing with the younger girls, you know. And I'm talking about 56-year-old women, bad too. I love older women, but they competing with the younger girls because they know that that's the market. And in a way, like I said, a woman could stand on a bus stop with 3 fucking kids, and if she look good, some dude gonna pick her up. That same thing don't go for a guy. Like, the shit suck because, like I said, I was with the understanding of, Chris, just better yourself. Better yourself, and everything will, you know, come to you. Like, what's meant for you will come. And I'm talking about my, like, way of life, my way of thinking, you know, the foods I eat, working out, like, work on me to become a better person. Even starting something, like maybe go start, you know, work on something, be working towards something. And I'm doing that, and that shit kind of put me in a situation to where I had to cut a lot of people off because ain't nobody trying to fuck with somebody who's working towards something. Everybody got to go to the latest party. They got to catch up with the latest gossip. And so no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. And you know, you even think like, oh, I could go to my guy, I could go talk to my boy. They not on the same they not on the same level of thinking that you are. A lot of them dudes, a lot of men today talk about dumb shit. They talk about and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but at some point you can't be sitting on your fucking ass watching a 3-hour football game and you did nothing with your time. I know that's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers with y'all. Like, that's my time. Oh, I work so hard. I work 40. What you work? 40 fucking hours a week? Come on, bro. Like, what about the work you did for yourself? I'm not talking about the work that you went in and clocked in. Real work start when you off fucking work. That's what most of y'all don't get. The real work begins when you leave that 9 to 5. What are you working on? So, you know, and I used to do it. Don't get me wrong. Get home. Go fucking turn on a basketball game. That's 3 hours. Turn on a football game. That's another 3 hours. You know, shit, this gonna help me get through the day. Boom, go to bed, do it again. And I'm sitting there like, damn. Let's just take the NBA. You know, you might get 2 games in a week. That's fucking 6 hours of your time where you did nothing that you could have worked on yourself. You could have worked on bettering yourself. But that's what most men do. But yeah, we are in a situation to where, damn, it's going to get worse. Because like I said, even if you working on your purpose, women have this high expectation of like, oh, I know my value. Like, bitch, I'm no fucking prize here. I'm the one who worked to get to where I'm at. You just pretty, you know, but that's all they care about. Do they look good? Can they, you know, could their body look good? And I get it. That's how it's always been. But it's hard because, you know, even a man with a higher standard are being looked down upon because women, you know, got all these choices and shit. But, hey, man, if you a guy, let me know if you struggling with the same thing. I'm going to keep it pushing, bro, regardless. I'm going to continue to work on me. What's for me will be for me. I don't trip on that, but I do hear this come up a lot where people are complaining about, you know, how hard it is. And it is hard. I'm a guy. I get it. It is hard. But when you work towards something, you get to distract yourself. That's my advice for all you guys out there. I love y'all. Stay blessed. Deuces.